Hey friends! So, I just got back from exercising. I was thinking about this earlier because am still writing a Solangelo, Nico D'Angelo, Will Solis fanfic that is set in the Night Circus universe by Erin Morgenstern. This book, you should read it. I've been writing it for like a little over like a month, and then I just realized today that I am like blazing through this whole thing. The novel I'm writing right now, which is novel number 3, yay, it took me a long time to really get through like the first chapter or two. Maybe it's just that I'm really hyped about it, or maybe I'm just really like excited about it. I thought about the differences between writing fan fiction and writing original fiction, and I'm not sure if anyone else has been talking about this, but here are some of my thoughts on the thingy. For me, like, writing fan fiction is inherently a lot easier than writing original fiction. Obviously, like, the reason why fan fiction is so much easier is because the characters and maybe the plot or maybe like the setting is already there. It's already made and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about world building or character building. You just have to worry about plot. And even then, that thing might be already made, created. Prompts are all over Tumblr, headcanons are all over Tumblr. Like, you can get all of these bits and pieces from other places and then put it together to make your own kind of fanfiction. Because you don't have to worry about the plot or you don't have to worry about the characters, you don't have to worry that much about dialogue because you already know how this character speaks, what this character's relationship with other characters. Even though you tweak it a little bit to fit whatever you're going for in your fanfiction, it's still like there. It's not like yours. I mean, the concept of ownership here is a little fuzzy because technically it's yours, but technically it's somebody else. So I'm thinking like joint custody. In fanfiction, you don't really have that much chances for second-guessing yourself. The motives, the characters, the setting are all almost there, always. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to think about, oh, maybe this character does this, or maybe this character does that, or what if I make this character do this, or say that. You don't really have to think about that when writing fanfiction, because you already know how the character will act, feel, or say. In books, there always has to be some sort of moving forward. In every word you have to do, every sentence, every chapter has to move forward the entire plot. But in fanfiction, filler chapters are like a staple. Whenever I read books and whenever I read fanfiction, there's always this thing that separates fanfiction from original books, and that is the filler chapters. Original books don't really do that all the time. I don't know, maybe I don't read a lot of books, but for me, all I've seen is just plot moving forward, and like a little like side plots in between. But most of the time, it's all moving forward. But in fanfiction, you know, you can do whatever you want. The plot doesn't matter because no one really comes for the plot in fanfiction. Not like most of the time. They come for like the characters, the pairing. And you don't really have to worry about page numbers. I think this is just me, but whenever I write original things, I always like worry about the page number. Like, this has to reach this amount of pages for it to become a real chapter, or this has to get to like this amount of pages for it to become a real book. Like 300 pages and like 20-page chapters. It's just me. I think it's just me, because I have read books that's like two pages and it's in the next chapter already. I like my chapters in big quantities. Like, my definition of a chapter is like 15 to 20 pages, and it's like this whole arc of the story. I don't hate it, but I don't particularly like enjoy books that like do 2-page chapters or 3-page chapters. It's just a little like, what's the point? When I'm writing fanfiction, I don't worry about chapters that much. Nothing matters in the fanfiction world, honestly. Like, unless it's like truly horrible and like something problematic is happening, then there's no real stakes, I feel like, in fanfiction. In fanfiction, it doesn't really feel real. That word is different in every kind of sense. Operational definitions are hard to come by. Like, you have to be original, you have to be different, you have to entrance your audience. In fanfiction, you don't have to worry about those things, even though you do have to like entrance an audience to make them want to continue reading it. Not everyone is gonna read a very specific Nico D'Angelo Will Solace fanfiction. In original fiction, you have to get these things out from the nothingness. You get it straight out of your heart or soul or your creative cloud. You have to wring it out from nowhere and just put it on a page, and sometimes the words don't work. And in fanfiction, the words almost always work. So yeah, those are just some thoughts I have in fanfiction and original fiction. I'm having a great time writing it because it's going pretty fast and I don't have to worry about a lot of things. It makes me kind of guilty that I can't go as fast in my original fiction, but maybe that's just me as a human being, and it doesn't really matter much to me that this is gonna be like something amazing and astounding, unlike my original fictions. All I have to worry about is for it not to be suckish. I mean, I don't have to worry about people liking it because or people wanting to read it, because I'm sure that not a lot of people will read it. I mean, I'm mixing Night Circus and Will and Nico. If I combine it together, there's gonna be like a total niche audience, and I don't mind. I just want to write this because I feel like it's a really interesting story to tell. And that's how I write things, when I think they're really interesting stories that I want to write. So yeah, stick around, subscribe, something might happen.